All in all, well, while I've been at home and sleeping and scratching my ghoulies and stuff, the old man's been cracking on. Well, if you look here, he's been around it with the old grinder. Well, there's that little bit of a step there at the bottom. He's blended that in and blended it in there. If you look from the side, that looked pretty good. Well, that's definitely going to be a shop front and never be good as a moulded product. And he's put a bit of plastic in there to mould over to keep that rib. But yeah, all along here, if you look from the side, that'll look pretty good. I'm happy with how it's turned out. See, look, it's not a mirror finish, never will be. But it's come out pretty good, innit? There's the edges, I've just got to put a little bit more chopped strand mat in them to strengthen them up. But yeah, that's looking good, that is. And it's good of the port side. All look good. He's removed the quadrant off the inside. That's probably quite weak there, so I might fill it up from the inside. And then, yeah, he's ground all the way down here. See again, it's all pretty smooth and flat. That's looking good. I'm happy with that. Well, the next thing I do is on this quadrant here, I might put a little bit more filler in there. Just the resin and the choppies just around both sides, because you look, I filled it up a little tiny bit and there's barely anything in there, and you'll never bend glass in that corner properly. So I might as well fill them both up with choppies. Now I'm standing on the floor, you can get a lot bigger view, but that all look pretty good if you ask me. I'm happy with how it's turned out. They look fairly smooth and they're going to be perfect. That looked pretty good. Well, I've just mixed up some choppies. I'm finished now, that's now turned. But I just stuck it all in them edges. Give it a radius. And filled a couple little gaps, I can see it right in the corner there. Because yesterday I put a little tiny bit of that in, but not much, just enough to stick it. So I now filled that all up today. And I did put a little tiny bit in the bottom there, because it looked like a pig's ear. Looked like old Daniel Westbrook's nose, it's so bad. Just to take the worst of it off. And then just put a little clamp on there, just hold that in bit. And obviously I've filled that and done the same. Just put like 3 or 4 mil radius in that edge. So it's now got a bit of strength into it. It's getting to that time we're going to have to lay up. The old chap set up a table and got the mat out, so we'll be laying up properly soon. Scary shit. Oh, shouldn't say words like that. Well, that's getting near time to do proper glassing, so I'm just going to acetone all this up and key up all the edges. That bird poop. Just do a liberal amount of acetone. A little dip in the bucket. Around the edges, I'm not going to do the edges yet, but if you have a little slight overlap, you might want to. But you can see after you do that, feel it? They go sticky. Basically, acetone liven up the edges. So, acetone both front sections, ready to glass. Well, the old chop is now getting the 450 gram mat ready. As you can see, that's torn all around the edges. If you just cut it with a pair of scissors, that leave a horrendous tide mark. If you tear it, that blend in a lot better. Not that this is going to be a shop front job, but you try and make it a little bit better, don't you? Obviously, when I'm putting this sheet down and put another 1 inch bigger, another 1 inch bigger, another 1 inch bigger, just to get a good overlap. So he's cutting away. Lovely job. I just weighed up 2 500 gram tubs of resin. Not too much in each one, only a little bit, just to see how we get on. Because I don't feel that warm today, because that's a good northeasterly breeze, but it is quite warm. So for the first couple of mixes, I can then fathom, gauge how long the glass will last for. I'll probably just use 2% catalyst and go from there. See how it goes. That bit I just got them to cut. I just laid it up there roughly to see how long that'll be. Obviously that go over that centre rib. That's a little bit much on the sides, but what I'm going to do is some of them stray ones are a little bit long, so I'm going to get a pair of scissors and not going to cut all the frill off, but cut it halfway just to make it a little bit smaller. There's a few odd frilly ones that go in here, there and everywhere, what I don't really want. But that's roughly how I want it. Well, that's 3 buckets there, what I had resin in. 3 500-gram buckets. I always leave a little bit of resin in the bottom so you can pop them out. And there's a roller in the acetone soaking, should look hard. But if you look on there, that first sheet went just over the corner, that size. I put 2 layers of 450-gram mat that side, 2 layers of 450-gram mat that side, and obviously I've overlapped it twice in the middle, so there's 4 layers over that little rib there. Obviously just put a little bit of plastic there to make up for the rib in the top, so obviously that gives it quite a bit of strength. So it's got 4 layers in the centre and 2 layers both sides. I don't like doing more than 2 layers at a time because it do generate a hell of a lot of heat. So I've got 2 layers on it each side now, and now I'll let that go off. I'll put another 2 layers on it, so it'll be 4 layers thick. That'll be plenty enough. And obviously this flange had about 4 or 5 layers on it already, so that'll be like 8-9 layers thick. So that'll be roughly about 1 millimetre a layer of a 450-gram mat. So that'll be perfectly strong enough. But yeah, it's looking alright, isn't it? We're getting there. That's come out fairly smooth. If you look there, it's a slight deviant, but not too much. You can live with that. Well, I can live with that. That looks alright, I think. So now I'm getting the old chap to tear some more sheets slightly bigger. Obviously, them sheets are like here and here. I thought I'll go right to the top this time and right to the bottom. So every time you put a sheet on, you get slightly bigger. Right, when you're overlapping bulkheads in boats, you go 2, 4, 6-inch overlaps. You make a hell of a lot because obviously that's structural. But for this sort of thing, that's not really structural as such. That's only thin. So I'm not going to go over 2, 4, 6 inches. I'm doing like 1/2 inch bigger each time. That's plenty strong enough for this little old dodger. And anyway, we're going to put a stainless pole each side anyway. And on the inside of these corners, I'm going to put a rib to strengthen up a bit. That do make the job a lot easier when you've got a little prep fairy. You prep all the bits of timber or cutting or grinding or trimming all the fiberglass mat. That's lovely. Everyone should have a fiberglass fairy. Like tooth fairy, but do fiberglass. Good old boy. Well, it's now time to do the 2 side panels of 450-gram. You see there the old chopping fairies cut it to shape, and I've just gone over it with acetone. Same as this side. I'm over that with acetone, so I'm now going to lay the 2 sides up. Well, that's another mix done. I just put 2 layers of 450-gram mat on that corner and overlap that edge. That edge has now got like 4 layers on it now. So that's done. The front's done. And that's wet there. I just done that side here, different colour. I've only just finished laying it up like a minute ago. So I'm now going to let that go off. That'll cure and then cool down. Obviously when you have a fiberglass go off, it'll get ever so hot. That's why I don't normally do more than 2 layers at a time. So that's 2 layers over the lot. What I need to do is, I think the old man's now make a cup of tea, and I'll put another 2 layers over the lot again, and it'll be done. Yeah, as I was saying, that's now 2 layers over the lot. What I've got to do, I'll put another 2 layers over the lot, then I'll put some more support in them corners, because obviously that bit there is only thin. Put another couple of layers in there, same the other side, and in the internal of these corners I'll put a bit of support in too, and that'll be it. And leave it to the old chap to sand it down and then flow coat it. Happy days. Well, the old chap just cut 2 more sheets to go on the front there. Another 2 sheets to go on the other side. And now he's cutting another 4 side panels. So another 2 layers here, 2 layers each side. And that'll be it. Just weighed up the old resin, 500g tubs. And I'll now get that laid up. So then that'll be 4 layers and that'll be enough. We don't need any more than that. 4 layers and you've got that other layer that was already there. You're like 4 or 5 mil. You don't need any more than that. Well, I'll just put a couple of strips on this glass here to make that thicker, and that's the inside. What I'm going to do on the inside is some bond and paste, and just put bond and paste on there, a little card, and take away that little step. It's only a millimetre anyway, and get that done. And on this side, that's all got 4 layers on it, 450g mat, so you still see the shadow through it. And then see on the edge there, I'll put several layers on there. Like some are just fully in the wind. It's all got to be ground off. That's just to match up that lip there. That'll look alright, that one is done. And obviously the same on that side. So I want grinding out, that'll be alright too. All 4 layers put on there. All hunky dory now. All that need is a rub down and flow coating all over. That'll look good. Yeah, I'm happy with that, how it's gone so far. Not much more now. All I'm doing is in them 2 corners put a strut each side to give it a bit more strength. Then obviously grind and rub down, that'll be done. That'll look alright. I'm happy with that. Shame Orkney didn't make splash screens to start with. Make things a lot easier just to buy one off the shelf, innit? Then again, that'll be a lot more money. But yeah, well, cheers for watching. Catch you later. Bye.